We've received quite a bit of interest in my Free to Be workshop, so to that effect, beneath this video is a link that will give you a description for the workshop, and we've also included a special discount. So if that's something you would be interested in, I would invite you to click that link, and I hope that you would find the course to be quite beneficial. Let me begin today by setting up a hypothetical. Let's suppose that somebody has come into my counseling office and they have a very detailed story they're giving me about some very troubling circumstances. And as they're talking, I start kind of getting big-eyed and I'm thinking, oh, this doesn't sound too good. And I start becoming anxious and tense. And then they start talking about how they've had all this anger and agitation due to their circumstances. And then I begin to feel angry and tense and agitated too. And then as they continue on with their story, I begin thinking, well, what am I going to do with this? If I were a therapist and I actually thought and responded like that, I'd have a pretty short career, wouldn't I? As a therapist, I've already predetermined before somebody ever comes into my office that I'm going to respond to their wild and very difficult stories with calm confidence. That's the characteristic, that's the trait we're going to be talking about today. In my mind, I have the notion that says, whatever you bring to me, whatever shows up in my office, we'll figure this out. We may not figure it out right away. It may take some unraveling. We're going to get there, and I'm going to be with you right along the way. Okay? Now, let's switch this over to you as you deal with the narcissist in your life. When that person has all of this emotion and confusion and agitation that they bring to you, are you able to respond with calm confidence? You see, narcissists are game players. They're con artists, they're manipulators, and they want to do anything and everything to pull you off of your game and get you into their game, which is the game of confusion. And one of the things that would ruin their goals for you is calm confidence. But that's not as easily said or easily done as it is to say. You know, they come at you with all sorts of tactics to try to get you confused and tense and agitated. For example, they can create arguments with you over minutia. They constantly find fault with you if you don't conform to whatever it is their schemes require. They can be non-cooperative regarding matters that might be important to you. And as these things happen, your emotions can start coming up and you start having this anxiety or tension or agitation when they learn details about you rather than thinking, well, now I know you better. Their thinking is, now I can manipulate you better. That's how they operate. Or they can whittle away when you begin to show resolve. It's like, oh no, there's always something wrong with that. And they'll remind you over and over and over. Lots of criticism, lots of cynicism. They can mock your character. You know, why would anybody paying attention to someone like you? Or you're just such a screw up anyway. They might try to isolate you from people who would be supportive. They can set up situations for you to get angry. And then when you do feel angry, they blame you for having the emotion. I mean, that's what I mean when I say they're game players. And the more you react with all of the troubled and strained and difficult emotion, the game continues. Calm confidence is a trait that will stop the game. Now, the narcissist may continue to try to play it, but it's no longer a game if they're not two people engaging with each other. One of the things that the narcissist loves to generate in you is emotional strain and turmoil, and they don't particularly care which variety. And so we're going to need to try to figure out, how do I get to that place of calm confidence so that when I'm with that game playing, con artist, manipulative, exploitive narcissist, I'm not going to go into it. I'm going to have a sense of steadiness. I'm going to predetermine who I am before that person has a chance to get inside my psyche and mess me around. Now, there are three guiding thoughts that I want you to hold on to within yourself about who you are before you can, or as you predetermine who you're going to be and how you can get yourself to that place of calm confidence. Now, first, I believe about myself, about you, every one of us has a dual nature. And by dual nature, what I mean is you're a mixture. You have pluses, you have minuses. You do some things right, you do some things wrong. The narcissist wants to maximize all the negatives and they want to minimize your positives. Remember, they're black and white thinkers. And so they can focus on the notion that says, everything about you is terrible. Well, if you understand, I actually do have a dual nature. If you hang around with me long enough, you're going to find some things that are flawed or a mistake, or maybe I just miscalculated, or maybe it's just your interpretation. But one of the things you're going to want to do as a predeterminant is I'm going to give myself permission to be a mixture. I have that duality, and so when they come at me with their black and white thinking, that doesn't pull me off. Now, a second thought that I want you to hold on to is my confidence, my calm confidence is not a byproduct of a pristine life. You see, the narcissist wants to just operate with that all or nothing thinking. And so I'm thinking, well, my confidence in myself is a byproduct of the fact that I'm in a growth mode. And I hope to be in a growth mode for the rest of my life. And so if you try to put all this perfectionistic, idealistic, imperative, you must, you have to kind of stuff on me, I don't get suckered into that. And then a third thought, and that is, no offense to the narcissist, but I'm not going to filter my self-esteem through someone who's a very troubled soul like this person. I mean, take a look at their lead characteristics in their personality. High control and low empathy. Manipulation, need to be superior, so they make up their own alternate reality as they go. I'm not doing that. Now, I'm hoping that you can predetermine calmness, confidence, that calm confidence, that's what I bring to the equation. That's how I'm going to operate. But then the next thought is, what would that look like when you engage with that manipulative and conniving narcissist? One of the first indicators that you are operating with calm confidence is you don't give lightning quick defenses or justifications regarding who you are. When they come at you, rather than think, hey, why are you doing this to me? Let me explain to you why I'm okay. No, I'm going to have a certain patience, and I'm going to let the decency of who I am stand there on its own. I don't have to justify myself. Or another indicator that you're operating out of calm confidence, and that is you do have the ability to stay objective in the moment. Okay, there are red flags here in front of me. I can see that this person is problematic. I don't know what's going on inside of that person. We're going to let the facts just gurgle up to the surface, and I'm not going to let subjectivity take over to the extent that I lose my ability to think things through clearly. And that's such a key. And that's one of the things that we're trying to establish here on our network with you. In addition to that, another indicator of calm confidence is you're not shocked when the narcissist is being, narcissistic. They're contemptuous and they're condescending. And rather than thinking, I can't believe they're being this way, that's a shock reaction. Like, I can believe it. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. They've done it many times. They're probably going to do it a whole lot of times in the future. Another indicator that you're inside your calm confidence is you can contain your anger. Narcissists love to push your anger buttons. And the more they get a reaction out of you, the more it's like, see, look at you. Well, you know what? Anger is a healthy emotion at times. It's my sense of self-preservation. And so I am going to preserve myself and my well-being, but I'm not going to do it in such a harsh or forceful or overbearing kind of way that it just plays right into the game. The whole purpose of this is to stop the game. Now, part of your calm confidence is you are going to be willing to speak up when necessary. You're good at setting boundaries and establishing stipulations. If the narcissist says, I think that's stupid or you're an idiot, it's like, okay, I know that's what you think. That's the objectivity. But I'm still going to set my boundaries and I'm still going to live inside my stipulations. As you do so, you're able to keep your words to a minimum. That's another indicator of calm confidence. You don't have to go overboard, saying on and on about why it's okay for you to be you. As a person with calm confidence, you can learn to live with loose ends. The tense person has to have everything tied down. With a narcissist, knowing that they're going to game you, it's like, oh, who knows what's next? I do know what's next in me because I'm going to have steadiness. But that person can come at me with all sorts of kind of things, and I can live with that. I don't have to tie that down. In your discussions with that person, there's going to be a steady, even tone of voice. You don't have to rise and try to be overpowering with that individual. They want to play the game with you, but in your mind, it's like, I've already predetermined. I'm not playing that game. I'm comfortable with who I am. My manner of life, my person is decent. And if that's something you're unable to see and engage with, so be it. But I'm okay with me. Can you think like that? Now, let me wrap here with 3 no's. When you're operating with calm confidence, the 3 no's that you want to remember is no pleading, no coaxing, no convincing. I don't need to get into that narcissist world and just try to get them to see things my way. Instead, I'm going to remind myself these people are, like I say, they're gamers. And the best way for me to shut down the game is to calmly and confidently decide I'm not going into that space. I have no need. I have no desire. I have no business handing my confidence over to a con artist. Can you think like that? I sure hope so. Now, I do hope that videos such as this will give you some good insights to concentrate on. If you've not already done so, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button right below here. If you have a need for counseling and if there's someone in your area that could help you with that, rather than going into that panic mode, I hope that you could find someone that can help you unpack this. If you don't have someone in the immediate area, we have a sponsor who provides online counseling, and there are licensed and experienced counselors that you could access. And if you need to, you can go beneath the video and hit that link to that. In addition, we have my workshop course, Free to Be. It's all about finding yourself in the midst of the controllers in your life. In addition, we have our survivingnarcissism.tv website and also drlescarter.com, links below to books and other kind of resources there. I want you to operate with calm confidence. And I know that it's something that you have to practice, but as you predetermine to have that kind of ingredient inside of you, you shut down the game. And in doing so, you're more poised to find and stay in your place of peace.